Giants on fourth down, protected to the touchdown.
Hey everyone, I'm bringing you a Week 8 matchup between Bryan and Clemens. This one was a very bittersweet outcome here for you, Bryan, because you got the win in emphatic fashion. You won running away, but you suffered a very substantial injury in the process, so you didn't come out unscathed. Let's kind of look and see how this all unfolded. Daniel Jones, who you picked up surprisingly. I know it's a bye week, so I don't know if I would have went Jones, but you did, and he got you 20 points. So surprisingly, it worked out pretty well. Got you 2 touchdowns, a few extra yards here on the ground. So hey, you pulled it out. So nice solid pick up there, surprisingly. But it is against the Chiefs defense though too. So it wasn't like he was going to completely be terrible, but good pick up there, solid. Aaron Rodgers, who now has COVID, but before he got COVID, had 19.66 points. Not very Aaron Rodgers like. Had 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, pretty efficient. Just didn't have any big numbers. Passing yards are low. Had 37 attempts. And only had 184 yards. That's not very good. But he was missing all his pass catchers. So only Aaron Rodgers can still get numbers and pull out a victory, even when not having almost anybody at his disposal. But fantasy didn't quite work out there for you, Clemens. Didn't get the numbers. Now, who I mentioned earlier, Derrick Henry, out like between 6 and 8 weeks, maybe more with a foot injury. So he had to have surgery on it. So he's going to be out for a while for you, Bryan. I did ask if you want to trade him. Like, no, I'm good. So I had to ask, but I respect that. Anyways, he's going to be out for a while. So you're going to have to piece together a replacement for him. I think you picked up Jeremy McNichols. You stashed on your bench, so we'll see how he does for you here as the season goes on. They also got Adrian Peterson. Interesting circumstances there in Tennessee, but your beast will not be carrying the load for you here for a while at least. Maybe playoffs it comes back in fantasy playoffs. We'll see. But fingers crossed for you, Bryan. That's a tough loss. Nick Chubb, 7.4 points, 16 touches, 61 yards, had 1 catch, 8 yards, did not find the end zone, so his fantasy day could not really be salvaged. So pretty average day for him overall. Darrell Henderson has been quietly one of the better producing running backs in fantasy. He's been not someone that anybody really talks about because that Rams offense is loaded and their defense is good, but Darrell Henderson's lighting it up. 14 carries, 90 yards, 1 TD, also had a catch for 3 yards and another touchdown. So he's been making everyone not even miss the old days of the Todd Gurley era when he was ripping it up. He's been more than enough at the running back position for LA. James Robinson, 4.4 points. Didn't really get it done. Looks like he got hurt in the game, so I think that might have limited his production, but one of his worst games of the season, that's for sure. Michael Pittman having a surprisingly good last several weeks here. He's catching touchdowns every week. You got 25.6 here for you, Bryan. That's excellent production. More than excellent. That's elite level production right there. Had 15 targets. Only had 86 yards, but the 2 touchdowns made his day excellent. Adam Thielen, 16.8 points, 6 catches, 78 yards, and a TD. That's a pretty typical Thielen stat line there. Gets his touchdown almost every week. Sometimes he doesn't, but mostly I like to think that Thielen just gets a touchdown every week. That's pretty much what he's known for. These catches touchdowns. Terry McLaurin, I'll still call him Scary Terry, even though it's not Halloween anymore. I'll still call him Scary Terry. 1 carry for 12 yards, 3 catches, 23 yards. So pretty scary looking stats right there, not in a good way. But that quarterback play has to start evening out there a little bit for Washington because it's definitely hurting McLaurin's weeks here. Sometimes he's able to overcome it, but not this week. Jacoby Myers, 7.6. That's pretty much the standard number there. He doesn't catch touchdowns. He gets targeted and he gets moderate yardage. So for Clemens, he's pretty steady. He's not spectacular at all, but he's steady. He's like a nice flex receiver type, low end wide receiver 2 and that's pretty much what he's been for you. So he's getting you solid production, consistent production every week. Uh, Travis Kelce had probably his worst game of the season: 4 catches, 27 yards, and lost a fumble on top of that. So Chiefs offense has been a struggle, man. They struggled against the Giants. The Tyreek Hill got his, but that's pretty much it. Mahomes, he's trying to fight his way through it, but they're not really humming the way that they usually do, and Kelsey's numbers are starting to kind of hurt from it too. And Tyler Higbee had 4 points, 3 catches, 25 yards. He's having a ho-hum season so far. Joe Mixon, 23.1 points. He's gonna have to probably be one of your probably your top running back until Henry gets back here, Brian. Him and Darrell Henderson are going to tag team and keep the roster going strong. But if he keeps putting up numbers like this, I think you're in good shape. That's where it helps to have this running back depth on your roster. When you have your stud go down, you can say, okay, I got this guy I can come fill in. That's Mixon. So it's pretty good luxury to have had him in your flex to this point. So hopefully he'll continue to produce. CeeDee Lamb, 14.2 points, had 6 catches, 112 yards. Going off there with Cooper Rush. So that's, he surprised me, Cooper Rush. He came out, looked pretty good. First half was a little shaky, but second half made some throws. Nick Folk had 13 points. Huge week from the kicker spot there for you, Brian. And for Clemens, Jason Sanders had 5 points, so very average. And then finally, the Denver defense had a spectacular day against Washington, 17 points, 2 block kicks, looks like 5 sacks, 2 picks. So they had one of their better games in the season. And Seattle defense feasted on the listless Jaguar offense to the tune of 13 points. Wasn't enough there for you, Clemens, but Brian, you've been having a fantastic season scoring wise. So I think you being 4-4, it's pretty surprising, but you were able to avoid being 3-5, which could have been worse. I think you're, number 2 in the league in scoring at this point, right behind me. So you should be probably closer to 6-2, 7-1 like I am, but it's just some weeks just haven't broke the way you need them to. People just outscoring you, but this week you were able to win pretty comfortably. And Clemens, you were 4-3, now you're 4-4. But your season's still very much in good shape going into the second half of the season. Got to hope that Aaron Rodgers, hopefully you can get by this week with Aaron Rodgers on COVID and keep things rolling. But good luck to you both this coming week.